My vlog, my rules, I can do what I want. The plan for this video is to be kind of a mix of a reading vlog and a read-a-thon, because I was originally going to do a 12-hour read-a-thon and see how much I could get read. And then I decided I don't want to wake up at 5 a.m., but I also don't want the read-a-thon to go on until like 9 p.m., you know? So the plan now is to just read and track my time. So I will be starting a stopwatch and just seeing how long I read and like stopping it anytime I have to like get up and do anything big. I will not be staying here the whole time either, but for my devotions, I'm starting in bed. Okay, so what do I have to read today? Well, I have devotions first, so I do 5 chapters in the Bible, and then 2 devotions out of this. It is a daily devotional, but I've had it for so long and never actually gone through the whole thing, so I'm doing 2 a day, and I'm on week 39, so making good progress. And then I read a chapter of When God Writes Your Love Story. This has been very perfect for right now, for this time in my life. Just kind of learning like contentment and to really appreciate this stage of life and the freedom that I have, and also just listening for God's purpose. So I'm gonna read another chapter in this. I'm pretty far into it. I only have a few chapters left. And that's what I read for my devotions. But after that, the real purpose of this reading vlog is to finish Warstorm, because I've been reading it for far too long and I do really love it. I just have not been like dedicating enough time to it. So I've just over 100 pages left, and we can knock that out today, especially if I'm like specifically dedicating time. So we'll finish Warstorm. Sorry, it does not have the dust jacket on it. I don't read them with dust jacket. So if I finish all of that and I'm not just completely tired of reading, I have a few other options. I have to read another chapter in this for my small group. So I can read a chapter of this. I have to get it done sometime soon because small group's in a few days. I can read more in Italian Neighbors because I need to finish this. It has been like on my to be read or to be continued for a long time now, for like a year or so. And I'm farther through it than this. I don't know where the bookmark was. I'll have to figure that out because I was, I think, over halfway through. Yeah, I have like highlighting. Oh, that's true. I did highlight. I don't know. I don't know where I am, but I thought I was at least halfway through and I just haven't picked it back up. So I could read some of this. I also might try to read The Picture of Dorian Gray. I don't know if I could get it all finished today. At this point, I'll have done a lot of reading and I don't know if I'll want to continue, but I could read this. I could also reread Othello, which I could probably reread this today. It's not actually that long. It doesn't have page numbers. Oh, it does. So it's like 150 pages, but they're tiny pages, so I could read all of this today. If that weren't enough, I'm also listening to the brothers Karamazov on audiobook, and I think that's the first time that I've said their name correctly. I always struggle for some reason. I want to put the accent on a different A in their name, but I am listening to that on audiobook, so I plan to like make cookies and do dishes and just move around the house and like get things done, so I can listen to the audiobook at those times. Okay, but without further ado, let's go ahead and start with devotions. Like I said, I am just staying in bed for this. Normally I would do them out in the living room, but I didn't wake up early enough to like be the only one up, and so now my parents are up and about, and so I'm just gonna stay out of their space for a little bit. And also I get to show off my floating shelves. Look at these. My dad and I made these. I mean, he did most of the work, but I think they look great. They're kind of my pride and joy. So anyway, without further ado, let's get into the Bible reading. Oh, and let's start the timer. So that's 46 minutes for my devotions, which is generally, it's usually somewhere between like 35 and 45 minutes. So now I'm going to read at least a chapter of Warstorm before getting up and like getting ready and getting breakfast and coffee and such. Without further ado, let's get into Warstorm, and like I said, probably just reading like a chapter right now and then moving on. So go ahead and one hour down. Now I'm going to get up and get breakfast and get ready for the day, and then probably do more reading on Warstorm. And when I sit down to read it next, I'm going to try to remember to give my predictions for the ending, so there will be spoilers in this video. I'm at the end of a series, I'm going to want to talk about it. So just be prepared for that. If you don't want spoilers, then click off the video because there will be spoilers. But okay, I will see you in a few seconds for you, and I don't know how long for me. But I'm probably going to listen to the Brothers Karamazov as I get ready and make breakfast, so I will still be reading, and we'll see how far I make it. Okay, I'm sorry about the light behind my head, but I literally need it to be able to read my book, so it's just gonna be there. But I have made breakfast and coffee and everything. As you can see, I read for another hour. I was listening to the Brothers Karamazov, and I'm now partway into book 6 of what is a 12-book novel. It's so crazy long, but I read for another hour, so that's awesome. Yeah, so we have breakfast and coffee, and now it's time to like really knuckle down and just finish Warstorm. I'm on page 568 of 662. So just barely under 100 pages left, and I'm just gonna try to knock it out. So here we go. I keep forgetting to make my predictions. I just read only a couple pages and then remembered that I still have not made my predictions for the endings. So this is where the spoilers come in, because obviously I have read 3 and almost 4, like almost the entire series. So anything I say is going to be a spoiler if you haven't read any of the books. Okay, my predictions. Obviously, Cal and Mare somehow have to get back together, and that means that Cal needs to step down and give up the crown. So either he gets overtaken by the Scarlet Guard or the Lakelands, or he gives it up of his own volition, but somehow he has to give up the crown, and then he and Mare have to be together. I also predict that Maven is still going to have a redemption arc, and this is just me not wanting to let him go. This is me just hoping against hope. But I think they're going to find a new blood with whisper abilities who can heal his mind, and then he will have a redemption arc and he won't be evil anymore. And he doesn't have to love Mare either, because they can fix that and he won't be obsessed with her. So maybe he'll find somebody new. I don't know. I feel like we're running out of book for that to happen, but I still think that somehow he's going to be saved. Also, Volosamos needs to be overthrown, so he's going to die. And I don't know why Ptolemus wouldn't pick up his crown, but for some reason he's not going to. And Evangeline doesn't care anyway, so she can live happily ever after. And Volosamos is gonna die. And probably his wife too. I don't remember her name, but she's gonna die too. And I guess those are kind of all of my predictions. I don't know what the government is gonna look like for Norda once Cal loses the throne. It might be similar to Montfort. I'm not really sure. Probably closer to Montfort. And they hinted at Davidson wanting the crown, kind of, but this was Maven speaking, so I don't know if it's tainted by Maven and his greed and pride, or if it's possible that Davidson is going to somehow take Norda. I don't think he would take it for himself, but like, is Norda going to be added to Montfort instead of being its own place? Oh, and Maven also said something about like, I will never see Montfort again, which makes me think that he is going to, which makes me think that he's going to be healed and they're going to bring him back to Montfort and he's going to like be rehabilitated in Montfort. So yeah, that's my prediction for that too. Basically, I just want Maven to be alive. But anyway, okay. Yeah, continuing on. Let's go. Okay, It's been almost another hour. I am just shy of 300 pages. I'm a slow reader. I don't want to hear about it. But I'm gonna take a moment, I'm gonna pause for a moment to stock the fire because it's getting cold in here and to refill my coffee. But I also just wanted to say, I wanted to make an amendment to my predictions. Maven needs to either be redeemed and have a new life in like Montfort or something where he's being rehabilitated, or he needs to die, but he needs to at the last moment have a redemption. Like he's sorry for all that he's done or wishes things had been different or something. Like he needs to have some sort of redemption. So I'm still expecting redemption for him, but I also understand that it could be like moments before his death. So we shall see. But we're in the middle of another battle, which those are not my favorite scenes. There have been so many battles in this book particularly, and I'm a little bit tired of them, but I don't think it'll last too long. I don't know, it could be a while. This is kind of like the big one. This is kind of what everybody's been waiting for. So it might be a while, but I'm going to push through and finish it. I just have a few things to do, but we're down to like 60 pages, which is great. So only a couple more hours of reading, hopefully. It has been almost 4 hours. I am down to the last 2 chapters and the epilogue. So roughly 40 pages, I think. Actually, more like 30 pages. I have 30 pages left. So this shouldn't take too long. I can see it taking an hour maybe, but probably not. It shouldn't. I should be able to read a little bit faster than that. Anyway, I've just kind of been procrastinating it because I am so close, and the next chapter is from Maven's perspective, and since we only have 2 more chapters and an epilogue, I'm really scared that he's gonna have to die. Like, I don't know what's gonna happen to him because there's not enough time to find a new blood to heal him. So I'm kind of scared he just has to die, and I don't really want to read that. I was correct about my prediction of Cal giving up the throne, which I know I said he either gives it up or it gets taken from him, but upon further reflection, I figured he has to give it up because if it's taken from him, that's not the same. So he has to give it up. He has to make that choice for himself instead of being forced into that choice, because another thread throughout this has been that Cal can't make decisions. He always has somebody else make decisions for him. He is great at strategy and at leading an army, but he's not good at making decisions, and he just doesn't. So I'm like, he has to make that decision for himself, and he did. So I don't really know what's going to happen to Norta, but so far the battle has been won. Like, they just won it, basically. The Lakelands are retreating, and now they have to find Maven, which Mare went after him. So I'm assuming in this chapter, Mare's gonna find him. And again, I don't know if she's gonna have to kill him or if he's going to, he can't escape. Like, it can't end with him having escaped. So I don't know what's gonna happen, and I've just been putting it off. But I've had enough of a break. I made some tea. Again, I'm like an hour or less away from finishing this, and that'll put me at 5 hours of reading for the day, and I was hoping to make at least 6 to 10 hours. Originally, like I said, this was going to be a 12-hour read-a-thon, and I decided I can't do that. I didn't want to get up really early. I did set an early alarm, and then I just went back to bed. So we're not doing that. Yeah, I should be at almost 5 hours when I finish this. So we'll see what else I can do afterwards. But yeah, without further ado, I guess I will just get into it. But here we go. I finished it. I honestly can't believe I finished it. Oh, I gotta set the timer. Okay, 4.5 hours of reading and we're done, which that was not all for this book, but mostly for this book. And now we're done. It didn't end quite the way I expected. I'm gonna just spoil everything right here. If you have any plans or interest in reading this series, which honestly it's so good, I kind of feel like you should, but if you have any interest in doing that, this is going to spoil everything, so don't listen. Click off, find a different video, go watch one of my reviews or something. But yeah, it didn't end quite the way I thought it would. Maven did die. There was no redemption for him. He's dead now, which is understandable, but I'm definitely sad about that. I was really hoping for something. And then Victoria Aveyard subverted my expectations in another way, where Mare and Cal are not together. She said goodbye to him and was like, I need time and you need time, so goodbye. And also I don't expect you to wait for me. Which, it's assumed that he will wait for her and that they will get together at some point, but I was just really surprised that that didn't happen in this book. And also, the threat of war still looms on the horizon. Like, not immediately, but maybe in a year from now. So the world is at peace currently, but they don't expect it to last. So you're kind of left with an ambiguous ending, which is interesting. I don't hate it, I just wasn't expecting it. So this book definitely, the whole series has just really awed me and has not been what I expected, and the ending is no different. Yeah, that was the main goal for this video, was to finish this book. I'm definitely planning to do a little bit more reading. I still want to make cookies, so I will listen to the Brothers Karamazov as I do that, and I want to read at least a chapter in Italian Neighbors. I'm a little bit tempted to try to reread Othello today and just get it done, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if that happens. For now, I have paused the timer and I'm going to write my review so that I can continue without having to film a review, because if I try to film a review, I'm going to run out of memory space and time. So we will do that another day, which normally I film the review pretty much as soon as I'm done reading, but I'm going to hold off. But I do need to at least update my Goodreads, so I'm going to do that now, and I will check back later. My head might be a little cut off, but that's okay because I don't plan to film this whole thing anyway. I'm just taking a break to make cookies, get off the couch. I'm going to listen to the Brothers Karamazov and make cookies. I'm in book 6 of the Brothers K, and it's currently just a retelling of Father What's-His-Name's life, which better have some sort of point. There's so much backstory and like theology and just ranting in this book. That's why the book is so long, is because there's so much just seemingly kind of useless information, and some of it's interesting, some of it has a point, but I really don't know why we need an entire backstory of this man's life. So it better come into play somehow other than just, let me tell you about myself before I die. Because why? But yeah, anyway, I'm gonna continue listening to that and get on with baking cookies. As you can see, the cookies are done, so I'm just going to put them on a cooling rack, and then I'm going to read Italian Neighbors for a little bit, at least a chapter. I still am not sure exactly where I was, but I haven't highlighted anything past this chapter, so I'm just going to start here. It's page 92, which I definitely thought I was farther along than that, but there's not even 300 pages in the book, so if I just sit and read this, I should be able to make good progress, but I also would like to do a little bit of reading in this, because I have one chapter to read, and it's a little bit over 20 pages, but that's not bad. So I might switch to this at some point and read that. Yeah, anyway, so let me get these off of these hot pans before they cook anymore, and then I will start reading again. Okay, we are ending back where we began. I have officially read for 6 hours, and that's give or take because there were definitely times when I started listening to an audiobook or reading or something and forgot to start the timer. So I tried to make up for that by like letting it run a little bit long also when I was doing other things, but basically 6 hours. It is 4:30. I could keep reading and do more of like a 10-hour marathon, but I don't really want to. Honestly, this is enough for me today. And I definitely didn't read quite as much as I thought, but I still read a lot. I accomplished my goal, which was literally just to finish Warstorm. This is kind of just, I needed a video and I needed to finish Warstorm. So anyway, let's just recap what I've read. So that's 6 hours. That includes 20 minutes of Bible reading, at least an hour and a half of listening to an audiobook, maybe longer. I didn't track that separately, but I know I read for an hour the first time, and then I must have read for at least half an hour the second time, but maybe more, maybe closer to an hour. So a good amount of time reading the Brothers Karamazov. And then I read a total of 146 pages, split between the books I'm going to go ahead and show you just as a recap. So I started with these two this morning. Obviously finished this one. I'm so glad to have it done, but also kind of sad. But it's very nice to have it done and be closer to my goal for my physical TBR, which is basically like 30 books and no more, which we're a long ways from, but we are 4 books closer having finished this series. And then I finished off with these two, and I didn't finish the whole chapter in this one. I only read like half of it, but that's okay because I do still have a few more days until small group, so I think I'll just try to finish it tomorrow or Saturday, depending on when I have time. And I read 2 chapters in this book, putting me at page 104. And I definitely have read both chapters before. I especially remembered the second chapter that I read. I definitely have read this chapter before, but I continued it because it's such a fun chapter. It very much just delves into the idiosyncrasies of the people in this town, of Tim Park's neighbors, and it was just a fun chapter, so I definitely remembered it, but it's been so long that I figured a refresher's not going to hurt. I might as well read it. And who knows, I've probably read the next few chapters too, but I'm just going to start from where I am now and just continue on, because I could reread the whole thing pretty much and like still get something out of it. But just to give like the briefest synopsis of this, it starts when Tim Parks and his wife Rita move from the UK to a little tiny town in Italy, and it just documents his time there, like the early stages. I don't remember from the beginning if he says that they lived there like the rest of their lives or if this is just while they were there for a year or two. I don't remember. And I obviously have not finished it. But yeah, it's just their time there and the characters that are all over the town, their neighbors and such. And they really are such characters. They're very Rousseauian, kind of. Like,
Everybody just has quirks and is so funny, and it's a lot of fun. So yeah, so it's a fun book. You learn a lot of Italian words. Maybe someday I will make a glossary for it of all the Italian words in here, but for now I'm just reading through. And as I was reading today, I got this package, and I think I know what's in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and open it as like a fun little unboxing on screen, because I always forget to do that. I recently ordered 3 books because I'm going to be reading through The Daughter Smoke and Bone, surprise, surprise, but annotating it for my sister and give it to her for her birthday. So I think that this is annotating supplies, but it also feels kind of heavy. So I'm not really sure what else I ordered, but we'll find out. Okay, it is just annotating supplies. So I have highlighters because, you know, you can never have too many highlighters. Transparent sticky notes and sticky flags, because I want to give some to my sister also. So again, you can never have too many of these, but I want to use them while I'm annotating for her so that I'm not like directly writing in the book all the time. I might do that sometimes, but I think mostly I'm going to try to use these. And then send her with some also. So if she wants to do her own annotation, she can. And lastly, Megan, if you are watching this video, you don't. I don't think she has time. But I also got her this pencil case, which these have become very popular lately. And I have one also. This is the same one that I use. And as you can see, I've had it for a while and it's just gotten dirty through use. Like having it in my backpack for 2 or 3 years at school and just carrying it around, it's gotten pretty dirty. So I actually considered getting her like a darker color just so it would stay nice. But I thought the pink was nice. She likes pink and I don't know. I thought that was nicer than like gray. But anyway, these got really popular and I'd like to think that I got mine before they got popular, but like probably not. Anyway, it's a great pencil case. I do love them. They have this zipper here, so you can like extend this and hold more stuff, which while I was in school, I definitely usually had it unzipped and I had this like packed full. Now I just use it for annotation. So I have like highlighters and pencils, and I should have a pen in here, but I don't. I gotta put one in. And then I have my sticky flags and sticky notes in the back, and it's just a nice little size. I would kind of like a smaller one, but also it shrinks down pretty good, so it's not bad. Anyway, okay, so that was just, I don't know, I thought it'd be kind of fun to do a little unboxing on the video, but that's it for this video. I hope that you enjoyed the reading vlog. I might start doing these more often because this was kind of really fun, and it's definitely easier to limit it to a single day. The last one I did was for the entirety of the Maze Runner series, and it took me like weeks and weeks and weeks of filming because I'm not a very fast reader, and so I didn't finish it like in a single week. It was a few weeks. And just having to like keep track of that and then be filming in between that, also doing like other book reviews or other videos, was just a lot. So I might start doing like a day once a week or every 2 weeks or something, and just read for 6 hours or something, and maybe build it up more. Maybe get up earlier next time and do more of like a 10 or 12 hour reading vlog. I'm not really sure, but it would definitely help me to cut down my TBR, to reach my reading goals for the year, and to have more videos to put out that aren't just book reviews. Because as much as I love those, I would like to do a little bit more. So maybe look forward to these in the future. Maybe, like I said, maybe once a week, maybe every other week. Maybe it'll only end up being once a month, but who knows. If I could do them weekly, then I could probably release a video, 2 videos every week, and that would be kind of cool. So if you've made it this far and you like the video, go ahead and leave it a like down below, and subscribe if you're not subscribed, and leave a comment of what you're reading right now, or if you've read any of the books that I went through in this reading vlog. And let me know if you like reading vlogs like this, like how did the format work? What would you like to see in future reading vlogs? What are things that should be different? I'm still trying to give better synopses of the books that I'm reading, but I didn't do that so much in this one just because I'm like in the middle of all of them. And so rather than taking that time, I figure I'll just do a review soon. So like the review for Warstorm should be coming out pretty soon, maybe even before this reading vlog, but no, probably not. But I will have a review for Warstorm, and then I will have a review for the series as a whole. And in the series review, I will try not to give spoilers, but in the review for Warstorm, there's gonna be spoilers. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.